The Smithsonian Institution has been hiding the most important archaeological discovery in American history for over a century. They've locked down the evidence, erased the witnesses, and turned one of the most sacred sites in North America into a military-guarded no-go zone. Why? Because what lies beneath the Grand Canyon completely destroys everything you've been taught about ancient civilizations. And the proof is still there, buried under federal restriction and armed surveillance. In 1909, explorer G.E. Kincaid found something in the Grand Canyon that wasn't supposed to exist. He was looking for gold when he spotted strange dark stains high up on the canyon wall, 2,000 feet above the Colorado River. He climbed up and discovered hundreds of carved stone steps, leading to a hidden entrance. Inside, the walls were covered in Egyptian hieroglyphics. Not Native American symbols, Egyptian, thousands of miles from Egypt, carved into a cave in Arizona. Kincaid walked deeper with his pistol drawn and realized this wasn't a cave. It was an entrance to a massive underground city, engineered with precision that shouldn't have existed in ancient North America. Passages cut perfectly straight like a modern tunnel. Ventilation systems. Rooms designed to house tens of thousands of people. And at the center, a crypt filled with mummies. Kincaid sent artifacts and detailed notes to the Smithsonian, requesting support for what he believed was the most significant discovery ever made. The Smithsonian agreed. Professor S.A. Jordan arrived with 40 scientists, and they spent months excavating the site. They found hundreds of rooms, granaries stocked with ancient pottery, metalworking shops with tools made from hardened copper, a lost technique modern chemists still can't replicate. They found weapons, shields, and ceremonial objects made from copper, bronze, and a gray metal they couldn't identify. Stone tablets covered in hieroglyphics. Statues that looked Tibetan but weren't quite right. Writing that looked Egyptian but wasn't exact. A massive statue resembling Buddha in a central chamber. And in the crypt, tiers of male mummies, warriors, each with copper cups and broken swords at their heads. No women, no children, just soldiers. This was a civilization that mastered metallurgy before the Bronze Age, understood agriculture and engineering when everyone else was supposedly hunting and gathering. A civilization that came from the other side of the world. Then the Smithsonian shut it down. Kincaid requested more resources to continue the research. His request was denied. And from that moment, G.E. Kincaid and Professor S.A. Jordan vanished. No follow-up reports, no published findings, no interviews. Gone. Every artifact disappeared. The area was declared off-limits by the federal government, and it still is today, over 100 years later. The Smithsonian's official story? It's a hoax. No such expedition ever happened. No one named G.E. Kincaid ever worked for them. No Egyptian artifacts have ever been found in North America. But if it's a hoax, why is the site still restricted? Why are there cement platforms with mountaineering anchors in the middle of a supposedly untouched wilderness? Why are researchers who get too close met with unmarked surveillance planes and Apache attack helicopters? Why have 1,000 caves been discovered in the Grand Canyon, but only 30 mapped? And why are most of them sealed behind steel gates? The excuse is public safety and protecting bat populations. But people are willing to sign waivers. The government still says no. And here's where it gets stranger. Rock formations in the restricted zone have names like Isis Temple, Tower of Set, Horus Temple, Cheops Pyramid, Tower of Ah, Buddha Temple, Krishna Shrine, Shiva Temple. All Egyptian and Hindu names. The government says it's a coincidence. But those cultures have myths about gods descending from the sky after a great flood to rebuild civilization, teaching humanity writing, astronomy, agriculture. The Hopi, who've lived around the Grand Canyon for thousands of years, have legends that align perfectly with Kincaid's discovery. They say the first people emerged from the Grand Canyon, but before them, others lived there. Some legends describe reptilian beings that shapeshifted into humans. Others speak of a race of giants. And skeletons of giants have been found across the American Midwest, 7 to 8 feet tall, buried in massive stone coffins. All sent to the Smithsonian. All disappeared. In the 1930s, 7 and 8 foot skeletons were excavated from the Spiro Mounds in Oklahoma. Sent to the Smithsonian. Lost. In 1892, stone coffins over 7 feet long were discovered in Alabama. Sent to the Smithsonian. In 1984, a researcher asked about them. The Smithsonian said, "We can't find them, though records show they were received. How do you lose multi-ton stone coffins?" Later, they claimed the coffins were stored in an asbestos-contaminated warehouse, inaccessible for viewing. During World War II, a construction crew in Alaska excavated a burial mound containing skeletons 2 to 3 times normal human size. The Smithsonian collected them, never seen again. This pattern repeats from Alaska to Mexico City. Discovery made. Smithsonian intervenes. Evidence vanishes. The Hopi have another legend about the ant people, small humanoid beings with pale skin and large insect-like eyes who lived in underground cities. When ancient cataclysms hit the earth, a sky god descended from a moving star and brought the Hopi to the ant people, who escorted them underground for protection. Then the sky god flew back above the clouds. The Paiute tell stories of the Have-Musus, beings with golden skin and large eyes who lived in a vast underground city, traded with distant peoples, and possessed weapons described as silver tubes that shot lightning. They also flew silver canoes in the sky, craft that hummed, moved like eagles, and traveled at impossible speeds. These aren't random myths. They're memories of something real, and the government doesn't want you connecting the dots. Researchers Jerry and Kathy Wills spent years trying to locate Kincaid's cave. They found artifacts from the original expedition near a suspected entrance. When they tried to explore, an unmarked plane appeared, circling overhead despite the area being a strict no-fly zone. Their expedition was shut down. Another group tried approaching from below, the way Kincaid originally did. As they got close, a black Apache attack helicopter appeared. Not civilian, military. The message was clear: stay away. The truth is, the Smithsonian has been suppressing discoveries that challenge the official narrative since 1881, when geologist John Wesley Powell appointed Cyrus Thomas to lead the Bureau of Ethnology. Thomas originally believed in diffusionism, the idea that ancient cultures spread across vast distances and influenced each other. The Smithsonian pushed isolationism instead, claiming civilizations were isolated, especially across oceans. They insisted advanced cultures, like those in the Ohio and Mississippi valleys, had no contact with the Aztecs, Toltecs, or Maya, even though the Mississippi River runs from Canada to the Gulf of Mexico, a natural trade route. Saying those cultures were isolated is like claiming people in the Black Sea never contacted the Mediterranean. It's absurd, but it became official doctrine, and anything that contradicted it disappeared. The cave is still there. The hieroglyphics are still carved into the walls. The city is still buried beneath the Grand Canyon, and the government is still watching anyone who gets too close. The Hopi believe that when the messenger they sent to the Temple of the Sun finally returns, the truth will be revealed and the ancient land will be returned to the first people. But the United States spent 2 centuries taking that land. You really think they're giving it back? Not unless we force them to answer the question they've been avoiding for over 100 years. What are you hiding beneath the Grand Canyon? And why?